Together with Jalen Jacoby, what is it that we do?
We give the people what they want.
Jalen, we have a good game tonight on Thursday Night Football. Two teams that could be Super Bowl contenders or two teams that might not even make the playoffs. We're going to find something out about these teams tonight. It is the Rams against the Seahawks. The last time that the Rams took a football field, they gave up 55 points.
55 to Jameis.
They gave up 55 points to Jameis and the Bucs. You know, they've got a lot of big names on the defensive side of the ball. Should they be concerned about the defense?
Not yet. Because Jared Goff threw the football 68 times.
I know.
That doesn't help your defense, number one.
No.
Number two, Todd Gurley, the highest paid running back in football, carried the football 5 times.
Splitting carries.
5 times.
Todd Gurley. If you drafted him in fantasy, you are not happy.
They have to get back to their identity. Under Sean McVay, ball control has been the key. When they hold the football almost half of the game, they're virtually unbeatable.
And let that defense rest.
And let that defense get a rest. If you're going to keep them out on the field like that, they're going to get torched. And Jameis was up for the task with 4 touchdown passes.
Aaron Donald, not doing a lot this season. Now, people look at the double teams, but, you know, Khalil Mack's getting double teamed sometimes. Do you think Aaron Donald's lack of production, sacks, is a function of him offenses scheming against him or him just kind of having a slow start?
I think he's so very good, they're triple teaming him. And when you have an offense that's not giving you a chance to rest, he's a human being. And when you have your D-backs not covering the way they used to, the quarterback is able to get rid of the football faster. That's happening. And then when he's not pass rushing, they're able to sit back. And you saw Mike Evans skipping into the end zone.
Skipping on the goal line.
Yes.
But the other side of the ball is interesting too. The Seahawks are sitting at 3-1. Oh, okay. Look at them. They've got a good start. They lost to the Saints. But here are the teams that they've beaten, Jalen. You tell me which one of these teams is a good football team.
Okay.
The Broncos, the Cardinals, and the Steelers. Those are their 3 wins. So is this team, the Seahawks, they've got it together, they're good? Or is this team like, you know what? I don't know.
Well, 2 of those teams were projected to have really good defenses. This wasn't the 0-4 Denver that they faced. This wasn't the one without Chubb who got injured for the year. So what it showed me is Russell Wilson continues to flourish as a franchise quarterback.
He does.
Okay, they lost Doug Baldwin. We're not even talking about it.
Nope.
Lockett's getting up the field.
Yep.
Dissly as a tight end is making plays. Carson has become a running back that they can rely on. And so they have balance. And what they've done over the years is slowly improve their offensive line.
Good point.
And Russell, with his baseball background, you notice when you watch their games, he don't take big hits.
And he doesn't have to run every time like he used to. Remember 3-4 years ago, he was just running, flushed out the pocket.
He was running for his life.
He was running all the time.
He like, hey man, I'm married Sierra.
I'm not
we
trying to take his hits anymore.
Hey man, y'all need to get something happening with this offensive line.
So Russell Wilson has been in the league for a long time, and he represents something that you wanted to discuss for a long time. You might have to do something for this topic.
I know. So watching football each week, I follow the trends of things that could take. Hey, I know this is a serious program. Hey man, I've been going to the dentist. My mouth is sore, dog. I gotta take this out.
What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh no! Jalen, take his tooth out. Jalen, show the people your tooth.
I gotta take this out.
Yo, this is such a serious topic. You had to take the tooth out for this one.
Absolutely. So what I've noticed is the kickoff returns are barely happening. I think the Lions have the only one. Bell cow running backs that carry over 30 times are basically becoming extinct. People don't really use fullbacks. People don't really use the 4-3. And then all of a sudden I looked under center. I'm like, there's a lot of black quarterbacks. As a matter of fact, it's more starting and participating black quarterbacks in the NFL right now than ever.
Than ever before.
And let me compare that to another position for some context. Look at this list, Jacoby. How many black
1, 2, 3, 4,
punters
5, 6,
or
7,
kickers
8, 9, 10
are in the league?
11.
How many black?
0.
Correct. That's how the quarterback position used to be.
It really was.
The quarterback position and the kick, it was like
Randall Cunningham popped up.
Yeah, and Warren Moon.
Yeah, Warren Moon. I used to love Warren Moon.
Exactly. So now, a position that the intellect was questioned, the ability to perform on Saturdays in college and or Sundays in the league was being questioned. And now the players on defense have gotten so fast. You a lot of times either need somebody that's really accurate that can throw from the pocket or can elude the rush to the point where they can get out of the pocket and make a play with their legs. So their intelligence has now changed what we see happening in the NFL under center.
Very well put. I'm glad you took your tooth out for that one. Jalen, we have a Jalen update.
I felt like Fred Sanford.
This time, it's Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey, remember he was sick and they had a back problem, and then he went to go be with someone who's going to have his child, and now he still not practicing with the team. But the owner of the Jags made a statement. Here is what Shad Khan had to say. He said, quote, "We value the values Jalen adds to us, to the Jaguars. I think we value him highly. We're still looking at what is the right thing for the Jaguars, and I think right now the best thing is to have him be part of the team."
First thing I think about when I see Jalen and Jaguars is JRLA.
That's right, the Jalen Jaguars. Jalen Rose Leadership Academy Jaguars. You can always support JRLADetroit.com. So Jalen, Shad Khan values his value and says the best thing is for him to be part of the team, but he's not part of the team for whatever reason you want to pick from the menu. So what does this mean about Jalen Ramsey moving forward?
This means Minshew Mania and Leonard Fournette and that offense finding a way to get itself together.
Yep.
They still have Calais Campbell, one of the best defensive linemen in football. They're playing really well. They're now going to show him that we're creating something special around here. I know you said you wanted to get traded, but we have something in the AFC that we really believe that we can improve on. Now, if we have you on the field, we can go to the next level. If they keep performing well and he's not playing, at some point, if the players think that it's not because he's injured, you saw what happened with Baltimore and Earl Thomas.
Yep.
When their nose tackle didn't play, it all of a sudden became a dispute. I hope this doesn't carry to the point where players feel he's not playing even though they think he can.
It has to be difficult. This isn't a contract holdout. This isn't, hey, I'm undervalued, I need my money, like Melvin Gordon type of situation. This is, I don't want to play with you guys. I'm too good for this team. And the excuses are starting to pile up a little bit.
Well, what happens is you can't really designate somebody's back injury. Like Della Dime, when she got injured in the game, they came out with a diagnosis.
Herniated
Behind
disc.
his name,
Yep.
we see back.
Yes.
Okay? So when it starts with being sick, and then obviously to be the birth of your child, and then the back, it makes some people look at it sideways.
I look at it sideways. I'm not afraid to say it to a microphone. I look at it sideways.
But as an all-pro player that loves the game so much, if he can play, at some point, it's going to be eating him up that he can't be out there performing the game he loves.
Especially if they keep winning. They keep winning on the back of my guy, Gardner Minshew. You mentioned Minshew Mania, and the Jags are now trying to make little money off of Minshew Mania. They have a package where you can get a bandana and a mustache, and you get an on-field picture with your gear. So here's my question. We have this whole bill in California about getting paid off your likeness, right? And I understand that, but something tells me that Mr. Minshew gets, 0% of the proceeds from this project.
Well, he's a professional, and he gets to trot out there with a uniform on and play quarterback. And you and I both know if you can perform at that position, you can make generational wealth.
Yes.
He's going to be someone that was under the radar. The last pick in the draft, the 6th round, he was drafted where Tom Brady was drafted in the 6th round. Now all of a sudden, he got a nickname. He got a mini pack.
Yep.
He's going back to his collegiate
He's a legend.
game.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Correct. And so if he can continue to perform well, we're going to see more and more things happen for him like this.
Well, I'm excited about Minshew Mania, and I'm going to buy a bandana and mustache. Jalen, wild card, American League action, winner-go-home game last night in Oakland. Let's just look how it started. Yandy Diaz in the box. This is the first at-bat of the game. Bang! got after it, and Yandy wasn't done. He had 2 home runs. I kept waiting for Oakland to come back in this game, but the bats of the Tampa Bay Rays just let him out. They had 4 home runs in total. Yandy had 2. So now the Tampa Bay Rays, off of this win, have to play the Houston Astros. So my question for you is this. You see them celebrating in the locker room. Is this momentum building, or is this an emotional hangover from the celebration and the focus on that one game? Like, do you think this helps them or hurts them as they head into play one of the best teams in baseball?
I think it definitely helps them. I think it's momentum building. The problem is when you play against Houston, they have some of the most stout pitching that Major League Baseball has seen.
Yes.
And when you have aces like that, they control the game. So I would be very curious to see them hitting opposite field home runs like that
against some of the Houston pitching. And also, you already burned your ace. Like, you have that win. You had that one game, so all of your starters are ready to come in relief or whatever. And then all of a sudden, you have to go to Houston and face their pitchers, and you're looking at your second pitcher.
Can I shout the A's for a second? However,
okay,
as Detroit and Oakland have a kinship.
I've heard you say this before a million times.
It almost breaks my heart.
What?
That all of the professional teams took the check and left.
The Raiders left, the Warriors left, the Oakland A's are staying.
I appreciate that. As somebody that loves Ricky Henderson so very much, I appreciate that.
Shout out to Ricky Henderson. Steph Curry, one of those players that's leaving Oakland, going to San Francisco where the Warriors will play. And he was at practice, and he couldn't help but notice something was missing. Here's what he had to say about one of his reactions from his first practice. He said, I texted Andre Iguodala yesterday. I had a little heartfelt moment. I said, I miss you, bro. Things change, obviously. We talked about it all summer. And I knew this situation was happening, but this is definitely weird. So they're without Andre Iguodala. They're without Livingston. They're without some real contributors on that Warriors roster. How much do you think losing those veterans, that leadership in the locker room, will hurt the Warriors?
I think it matters, but ultimately something's going to happen with him in Memphis where he's going to end up with a contender. So I believe that he's going to get another chance to play playoff basketball. Andre Iguodala, former Finals MVP. But what I want to make sure I stress is the beauty of a team is when your leader is as inclusive and caring as Steph Curry is.
Good point.
I like the stats, 50, 40, 90s, 30 a game, shattering all the 3 records.
30 points whenever you want.
But I was in the arena when KD got hurt. And when you watch that footage of him limping back to the huddle, limping back to the locker room, Steph Curry was right behind him, rubbing his shoulders. It's going to be all right. I got you. Same with Clay. When Draymond comes out and says, people sleeping on us this year, don't we still got Steph Curry?
Yes.
That's how I feel too. And so for this moment, yeah, they're going to miss Andre Iguodala, but they still got the Splash Brothers when healthy. Draymond Green and D'Angelo Russell, who was an all-star last year. Willie Cauley-Stein is going to make big plays for them, block shots, rim run. So the Golden State Warriors, mark my words, they'll be 6, 7, and 8.
I don't want to face them in the first round of the playoffs. I don't want to face them.
But they're going to get somebody in the first round. And it's going to be a problem
one
for
of those
that
situations where teams might intentionally lose games not to match up with the Warriors
Putting it out
right
there
at the
right
end of the
now.
season. You'll see that happening. I love it when that happens. Be like, ooh, the Warriors? Like, maybe we don't want the 3 seed. Maybe we'll get down to the 4 seed. You will see it in the NBA. Remember where you heard it first. At Jalen Jacoby. Jimmy Butler did something that I cannot believe. And I cannot wait to hear what you have to say about it. That's next on Jalen Jacoby.